Hello everybody, this is Mr. Rob and welcome back to another episode of the South Carolina Gamecocks Dynasty here on EA Sports College Football 25, and today we're going to get started with year number 2 of the series as we jump into our opening game in week number 1 against Virginia Tech at a neutral site field. We are playing on a neutral site, but before we get into that one, we got to go through week 0 real quickly. If you're excited for this one, make sure you drop a like and you subscribe down below, especially if you want more Dynasty Mode content. There's a couple games on the week 0 slate. Kansas will be playing Fresno State. Washington State will go up against number 25 SMU. And we simulate the week 0, and we got some early interesting matchups. Week 1, there's a couple of good matchups. Oregon, Texas, LSU, Clemson, Oklahoma, Kansas, which more on the Jayhawks in just a moment. And Stanford's Scotty Roten had a great week 0. Here are the scores. Notre Dame gets the win over Syracuse. We'll pretend that was the Ireland game. Fresno State upsets Kansas on the road, 43-24. The Bulldogs get a win. And then Ole Miss beats the Trojans 13-3 in a low-scoring game. And Stanford goes to Hawaii and wins 44-34. Here are your players of the week. David Gusta of the Cougars had 6 tackles and a sack. And then we saw Scotty Roten's numbers a second ago. Here are some of the big games in week 0. Oklahoma will face Kansas in a former Big 12 rivalry. Oregon versus Texas is a massive one. The defending champion Buckeyes will host UCLA to begin Big 10. And then Clemson, our in-state rivals, will face LSU in a battle of mid-pack teams. But we're here in week 1. We're playing a Virginia Tech ranked 14th in the country. And this ended up being a neutral site game on Sunday in Atlanta, Georgia at Mercedes-Benz Stadium. So I'm excited that this is actually a neutral site as we get to start the season with a pretty tough one against a Hokie squad that was very good last year, finished in the top 25. Start this year ranked 14th, but we got a good squad on our own hands. And who will win this battle to begin as we kick it off here in the Aflac Kickoff Game. A big spot for the Gamecocks, national spotlight for some of these recruits we hope to get this season. But one team's got to start 1-0. Which team will it be? Let's not waste any more time and find out as kickoff is here. And we're underway with the 2025 college football season. It'll be the Gamecocks starting for the football. True freshman Chase Clements will return this kick out to the 21 as there's Coach Mr. Rob. And we'll take a look at this Gamecock offense. A lot of new faces. Elik Ayominar being one of them, a Stanford transfer. Look out for him to get the football early. They start though with a quick pass to Russell. That's a gain of 6. As Tyshawn Russell, a sophomore, getting a little bit more involved in the offense this season, we hope. Here's Braylon McReynolds, the South Alabama transfer, who had 2 touchdowns last year for the Jaguars. He's going to get a couple carries to begin. Rocket Sanders' graduation clears the way for McReynolds to step in. Part of the reason why I went and got him in the transfer portal is because we lost our top 3 backs. Quickly now, 2nd and 7 for the Gamecocks. Play fake Sellers, and he's going to go down. Quickly hits, that is Curtis Perry, who had 0.5 sacks last year. He's already tied his total. Now, unfortunately, the Gamecocks offense will continue to go backwards as there's a delay of game. They couldn't get the call-in time in. And that was 3rd and 21 for South Carolina. Sellers just wants a deep ball for Harbor, and it's knocked away. The Gamecocks will begin their season with the punt. That'll bring out Kyron Drones in the Virginia Tech offense. Drones, a very capable dual-threat quarterback for the Hokies. He was in Heisman Watch territory last season, so it'll be interesting to see how the Gamecocks do against this Hokie offense. And it's after a gain of 5. Here's a pitch, and it goes backwards. That's Dylan Stewart, the true sophomore, former 5-star recruit from the D.C. area. Look for him to get involved. But on 3rd and 8, a catch across the middle for Chance Fitzgerald with a big gain. As this Virginia Tech wide receiver, core, the whole core, none of them had catches last season. So a new group for the Hokies. So it'll be interesting to see how that does for VT early on. But they're going to go to the ground here. And they're going to get inside the 20, a red zone trip for Virginia Tech, as they've had a good opening drive. As here's a handoff, hit hard down after a loss of 1. 2nd and 11 now. Quickly as Drones was caught by his tight end, Benji Gosnell, who had 3 catches for 15 and a touchdown last season. He gets them goal to go, is on 1st and goal. Virginia Tech gets down to the 2. Now Malachi Thomas will check in, 2nd and goal up the middle. Going to get stopped again, a yard shy. And now a 3rd and goal chance for the Tech. Can the Gamecocks get the stop? They will not. They finally punch it in on 3rd down. And Virginia Tech will strike first with a touchdown. And that'll bring us to the end of the first quarter. A quick affair here, as it is Virginia Tech up 7-0 with South Carolina currently with the football. Pretty evenly matched in the passing yards and rushing yards so far this game. But it's a 3rd and 1 for the Gamecocks at the 25 of Virginia Tech. Sellers, quick pass outside. That one's going to be caught by Jared Brown. Big catch for Brown, who had 30 of those last year for 318 and 2 scores. New set of downs dumped off for McReynolds, as the Gamecocks like to use their backs in the passing game. But he loses one, and now on 3rd and 11, Sellers wide open, man across the middle, but he can't hit Brown. At his feet was the throw, a miss by Sellers. Now the Gamecocks will be forced to kick a 40-yard field goal, and Mason Love nails it up and through. So South Carolina on the board, but they trail 7-3. Virginia Tech now with the football. Next play, here's Drummond. He gets a big hole right side. He scored the touchdown on the last drive, and he gets a big one here. 6 for 39 for the sophomore Mac Drummond. He's got the Hokies in plus territory. Pass short. This one caught. That's Kalen Adams, the redshirt freshman. Gets his first career catch. 2nd and 4, left side. That one's knocked away. Good defense. South Carolina really retooling their cornerback staff, as they lost both cornerbacks. One to graduation at Fortin last season, and then another in Swain to the transfer portal. So after a first down, 1st and 10, quick pass again. This is Gosnell. He's getting involved early, as he's brought down after a gain of 4. But so we're going to give him 5 free ones. Dylan Stewart gets a little antsy. He's going to be called for the neutral zone infraction. So it's 3rd and 1 now. 2nd and 1, excuse me, as they hand off to Thomas. And he's going to pick up the first down with ease. VT goes inside the 15 now. Another long drive for the Hokies. This one a quick pass in. That one's incomplete. Robinson could have got his hands up and intercepted that ball. Instead, it's incomplete. 2nd and 10. So they go back to the ground, and Thomas will be stuffed right side. Picks up 3 and a big 3rd down. They go empty, does Virginia Tech. Drones change some things to the line. South Carolina brings pressure. He counters with a great pass outside. Beautiful veteran move by Drones. And now it's goal to go for the Hokies from the 1. They hand it off to Drummond, but he's brought down the backfield by TJ Sanders, one of only 2 returning defensive linemen. 2nd goal from the 2. Pitched outside. Nobody's in front of Thomas, and he's going to find the end zone. Touchdown, Hokies. 14-3 now your score as they take a 2-possession lead. And we'll go to the 2-minute warning where South Carolina trying to stay in this ball game as they begin this 2-minute drill from their own 44. Sellers takes off with it himself, takes a couple of hits, but picks up the first down and flips the field. Now out to the 42 of Virginia Tech. He's back to throw. 1st and 10 across the middle. That one's almost intercepted. That could have been dangerous. 2nd and 10, dumped off short for Nick Elskins, who picks up maybe 1, and now it's quickly 3rd and 9. Coming up inside a minute, Sellers drops back. He's actually going to tuck it and run, has some space, takes another shot, and he picks up the first down, keeps the drive alive. Inside a minute now, 1st and 10. Sellers dumps it off short for McReynolds, and he picks up a gain of 4. South Carolina doesn't use any timeouts yet. Inside 40 now, with Sellers back to throw again. This one's short, but it's off of his own lineman and incomplete. 3rd and 6. Sellers goes for the deep ball. It's Harbor in the secondary and is caught for a touchdown. Nick Harbor, the track star, gets it behind the defense. He had 11 of those last season. He gets his first one here, and South Carolina scores their first touchdown, 25-yard throw. And it's 14-10 going into the half. Virginia Tech currently out in front, but this one's a pretty neck-and-neck game. You can see the stats on your screen. Both teams pretty much even across the board. But only one team can win this game. Will it be the number 14 Hokies, or will it be the South Carolina Gamecocks? We're here to find out in the second half. Virginia Tech starts off with the football. They go back to the ground game. It's been very successful today as Drummond begins with a gain of 4. 2nd and 6, RPO. This one swung out wide. There's Gosnell again. He picks up a first down, drags the defender. Been a very slow, methodical offense for the Hokies today. As here's Gosnell again, makes his 2nd inches. He has 5 catches today for 36 yards. He had 3 catches all of last season. Very much a retooled Hokie offense. Is on 2nd inches. It's Gosnell again. He makes a first down. being very busy so far. Linebackers have not done a good job in coverage. As on 1st and 10, Drones loads up for the deep ball. It's underthrown because he got hit, but it's caught anyway by Chance Fitzgerald. So a lucky break for the Hokies. Gets him out to the 18. Drones keeps it here on 1st and 10, and he's going to pick up a first down before being knocked out of bounds by Jalen Kilgore. So goal to go now from the 5, handoff, right side. Thomas tries to stretch it out wide, and he can't. He gets stopped, minimal gain. Second goal, they go back to Thomas again. This time he finds a little bit more space, but he's hit down at the 2, and another 3rd and goal chance for Virginia Tech. Drones to throw, quick hitter left side, and it's a touchdown. Caught by Virginia Tech. They again convert on a 3rd down, and they now lead this one 21-10. So another long, methodical drive. South Carolina's first drive of this second half will begin with a drop. Harper can't catch it across the middle. It's been his one Achilles heel so far in his career. There's Elik Aminor getting involved. His only 2nd catch of the day for 7. And that was 3rd and 3 for the Gamecocks. Sellers brings Harper in motion. Steps up through the pressure, going to tuck it and run with it himself. And this time he will get down at the 43. Sellers 5 carries, 40 yards today. Being very mobile with his legs. New set of downs. Here's a bubble screen for Russell. He gains 9. Tyshawn Russell, the sophomore from Pennsylvania, getting a little bit of action here in the slot this season. Remember, no more Campbell and Huggins, Bruce, and Larvadane. So somebody's got to step up in that role. Good drive here for South Carolina out to the 43. This one off a bootleg. Dumped off for the true freshman, Jason Baguette, who picks up 9. The former 4-star recruit from last season getting involved. And on 2nd and 11, McReynolds picks up the first down. Trying to keep the drive alive. Here's a tight end screen for Elskins. That doesn't go nowhere as Virginia Tech sniffs that one out. 2nd and 10. How about a mid screen? This one's caught by Brown. He's got some blockers. And somehow he gets into the secondary and shakes a tackle. Brown down to the 5. I don't know how Jared Brown found that alley, but he picks up 27. And that was goal to go for USC. Here's a dump off for Elskins. Again, the defense not fooled on the tight end flat. 2nd goal from the 6. Handoff. This is Monty Soreau, a freshman running back, getting involved. He gets his 2nd carry of the day. He's about a yard shy. 3rd and goal from the 1. And McReynolds can't get in. What was Brubaker doing? You forgot to block the guy right in front of you? That should have been 6. Instead, South Carolina settles for 3. And that'll take us to the 4th quarter where Virginia Tech leads 21-13. A 1-possession game here in Atlanta, as this one's going to come down to the wire. In the 4th quarter, 2nd and 11, Virginia Tech. A nice hole here for Thomas. He's started to get going. 12 carries, 50 yards, and a score. Big 3rd and 2. Drones looks short. He's got his man. First down. Again, South Carolina cannot cover the middle of the field. From the 34 now, handoff. Left side for Thomas. He's brought down. Minimal gain. Good tackle by Nick Emanwari, one of the captains of this defense. So now you got 2nd and 10. It's a draw play for Drummond, and he's going to go backwards. Nice tackle down. Brings it 3rd and 13. A rare 3rd down and long for Virginia Tech, and this time they won't commit. Drones will tuck it. He'll gain 4. But that puts Virginia Tech in field goal range. It's a 50-yarder for John Love. He was 85% last season. He begins this season 1 for 1. That one's right down the middle. Virginia Tech now leads 24-13. Again, a 2-score lead. We have about 10 minutes left in this game. 1st and 10. That one's almost intercepted right through the hands of the defender. 2nd and 10. Sellers looks short again. This time caught by Elskins, but he only picks up 2. And now he faces 3rd and 8. Sellers in the pocket. Steps up. He's going to run with it himself. Picks up the first. Tries to slide down. Gets almost helicoptered. And loses the football, but it's recovered, thankfully, by the offense. Moose Phillips with the hit. So all that to say, it's now a new set of downs, and Sellers misses Ayomanor, who had a step on his man. Incomplete. 2nd and 10. Sellers to throw again. This time tries to run. Doesn't find as much success. Only picks up 3. Maybe get a little scared there inside the pocket. It's now 3rd and 7. To the air we go. Sellers looks short. He's got Russell, who breaks a tackle and picks up a first down. How about Tyshawn Russell? Looking very good in the slot today. New set of downs. They want the mid-screen, but they can't connect on it. Pressure got there early. Now 2nd and 10. Sellers flushed out right side. He's just going to tuck it himself. Got some space, and he picks up the first down with his legs. So now you go to the 21. You almost need 6 here. Bubble screen for Russell. That picks up 5. Stays in bounds. Clock continues to run. 2nd and 5. Handoff McReynolds, and he gets bottled up. Run game has not been overly that effective today, as it's now a 3rd and 1. Sellers, all kinds of pressure, somehow evades it, and this one's floated incomplete. And on 4th and 1, South Carolina is going to kick the 3. I don't know if I agree with that one. You might want to just go for the 6 now. Instead, we settle for 3. And that'll take us to the 2-minute warning, where Virginia Tech is a first down away from ending this one. 2nd and 14 from the 17. They're also in field goal range, so we really could use a turnover here. Otherwise, Virginia Tech's just going to put this one up by 2 scores. 3rd and 12, they hand it off to Drummond, who won't get there, and that will be the 3 points. So South Carolina now, a minute 45, down by 11. Needs some magic here, as this one's incomplete. Looking right side. Knocked away by Dante Lovett. 2nd and 10 now. Sellers to the air, drops back to throw, steps up, wants to run, but he's going to get sandwiched between a couple defenders, and now it's 3rd and 10. You got to use a big play here. Sellers will step up. He'll run with it again. Picks up the first down, but it's not going to count. There's a flag down. It looks like they're going to get left guard Marquis Anderson, the redshirt sophomore, on holding. So right when you have the big play, it doesn't matter. So now it's a 3rd and 20. Sellers looks across the middle of the field. He's got Harbor open. He's got to step on his man. A big-time play to Nick Harbor. And now South Carolina is going to go hurry up. They want to preserve that last timeout. They hurry back to the line. Not a lot of time taken off. Next play across the middle is Harbor again. Almost the exact same play they just ran. And now he's got South Carolina out to the 33. Minute 15 left to go now. Now they change up the play. Sellers, though, is going to get sandwiched and brought down. Sacked by Lawson and company. South Carolina will burn their final timeout. 2nd and 15 now. Sellers, again, quick pressure up the middle. Stays on his feet, but he probably shouldn't have. He gets finished off, and then on top of that, there's holding on the play. So 2 guys hit the quarterback, and then the right tackle holds. Talk about a mess of an offensive line play. They'll decline it, so it's now 3rd and 29. As Sellers looks to throw again, but he's not going to have time. Thompson, after the holding, then gives up the sack. So it's 4th and 38 now. This is the game. We need a miracle here. Sellers loads up for the deep ball, but he can't even get enough time. Thompson again gives up the pressure. It's incomplete, and that'll be how this one ends. Virginia Tech puts the stamp on it late. Final score 27-16 as they win the first game of the season here and move to 1-0 while we drop to 0-1. Tough loss here in this one. Just they got too much pressure on us, and we couldn't stop 3rd downs. Also, I did mix up the slider set in this game. I switched to Matt 10s for this one. I used a different set last year. I used Matt 10s for Madden. Have mixed results with it. So please let me know in the comment section if you like this slider set. I don't mind running with it. It gets a lot of good reviews. Just requires a lot of work in terms of my end. But let me know if you like the slider set or if you want me to go back to more of last year. But nonetheless, we lose this game. We drop to 0-1. Not the best start for us this season, considering we have another tough schedule ahead of us this year. The offense just couldn't do enough. Some drops, couldn't protect the quarterback. Defense just couldn't get off the field on 3rd downs. We only forced 2 stops all day. Let's go around the league in week 1. Syracuse, how about this? They upset Miami. I thought the Hurricanes were one of the favorites to win the ACC. They go down. It doesn't get any easier for them. They play to Notre Dame this next week. Oklahoma State will play Oregon. That's going to be a big matchup. And then Oklahoma plays host to Michigan. 2 top 5s going at it. How about your scores in week 1? Kansas starts off 0-2. They lose at home to the Sooners 21-16 in America's game of the week at game day. Kansas State will lose to UCF, so a couple of upsets early. And then Minnesota loses to Buffalo. So how about the start to this season already? Maryland does right the ship. They beat Florida Atlantic. And then Wake Forest takes care of business against Kennesaw State. Wisconsin slaughters Miami, Ohio 77-7. And then Penn State barely squeaks by Nevada. Led to the Nittany Lions to maybe lose one of these early games. Michigan blanks New Mexico. NC State takes care of East Carolina. Texas State last year's Cinderella group of 5 beats Eastern Michigan. And then Rutgers take care of Ohio. How about the Scarlet Knights in the year they had last year? They don't want to slow down. Old Dominion gets an upset against Indiana. Akron beats Wyoming. And South Alabama loses to Southern Miss. Georgia takes care of Illinois 49-6. And UAB will beat James Madison. They try to make it back to the playoff. We saw Syracuse knock off Miami in pretty emphatic fashion. And then Auburn takes care of Baylor 20-10. Boise State, my group of 5 representative prediction. They take care of business against USF. And Tulane knocks off Northwestern Texas A&M will beat UTSA. Cincinnati squeaks by against Nebraska by a point. And Mississippi State will take care of business against San Diego State in pretty dominant fashion. Florida barely edges out Houston 13-10. FIU knocks off an SEC school. There's your upset, 28-21. Stanford beats Memphis. They start 2-0 on the season. Florida State gets slaughtered by Alabama 42-14. Not a good start for the Noles. Kentucky beats Toledo 43-24. Texas loses to Oregon. The Ducks lost in the championship last year. They want to get back to that spot. A big win for them in Jalen Milroe's debut as a Longhorn. Washington loses to Colorado State. Not a good night for the Huskies. Arkansas State will then beat Arizona State. We see Oregon State knock off Cal and former Pac-12 rivals. San Jose State over Central Michigan. Fresno State starts 2-0. They beat Georgia Southern. Colorado loses to Georgia Tech. The Buffaloes in prime. Not the same team they were last year. Louisiana beats Rice 27-8. UConn takes care of Bowling Green as they double them up. We see Louisville win the rivalry against West Virginia 38-10. USC bounces back with a win over Purdue. Ohio State begins their championship defense by beating UCLA 41-3. Charlotte gets a win over North Carolina rival App State, and Clemson drops it to LSU by 2. A close game, but LSU in the real Death Valley edged it out 38-36. We see Utah State, one of the worst teams in the country last year. They take care of UTEP, and North Carolina knocks off TCU. Middle Tennessee State gets a big win against Oklahoma State, and then Arizona beats Hawaii. In terms of your players of the week around the country, Chris Hilton had a massive day for the Tigers. 7 catches, 134 yards, and 3 receiving touchdowns, as well as a 94-yard run on the ground. Also got him SEC Offensive Player of the Week. LaRon Wrench had it for defensive with 3 sacks. Here are your rankings. Not a lot of movement. One team obviously did drop thanks to their loss, and that was Miami to Syracuse. Everybody else just kind of moved up a couple of picks. But it was the back half of the rankings that saw a little bit more movement with some teams joining the fray. UAB, Liberty, Tulane, Utah, and Notre Dame to name them. Here are your big games going into week 2. Michigan will face Oklahoma in a battle of top 5 opponents. Oregon gets Oklahoma State, who are looking to bounce back after their loss to Middle Tennessee State. Florida will host number 6 Wake Forest, a true test for the Demon Deacons to see if they are legit. And Miami will look to bounce back against Notre Dame. As far as us, we'll be playing our FCS opponent next week. In real life, that is South Carolina State. So I'll probably try to do what I did in year 1 and show some highlights against the true FCS school. So hopefully this is more of a tune-up. We can bounce back after last week's loss and get back on track. Thank you guys so much for watching. Hope you guys enjoyed. Hope you guys are excited for this season. If you are, make sure you drop a like and you subscribe down below, especially if you want more Dynasty Mode content. This is Mr. Rob, and I'll see you in the next one.